Welcome back. Today we're diving into a really astonishing life story. Aisin-Gioro Puyi, the last emperor of China.
It's an incredible arc, isn't it?
Absolutely. Our goal today is, well, to quickly map his journey from absolute monarch, literally the son of heaven, all the way down to just a regular citizen, and maybe see what we can learn from that.
Yeah, his life, born 1906, died 67. It really does mirror modern Chinese history in this unique way.
And he holds that strange record, right? The only Chinese ruler to reign 3 times.
That's right. First as the Qing Emperor, enthroned in 1908 when he was just, 3 years old?
3. Unbelievable.
Then there was that very brief, 12-day restoration attempt in 1917.
Oh, okay.
And finally, his time as Emperor Kangde of Manchukuo, the Japanese puppet state, up until 1945. Quite the resume.
Let's start at the beginning, then, the child emperor part. Enthroned 1908, but then the Xinhai Revolution kicks off.
Right, and that leads to his formal abdication in 1912. But the strange thing is, he didn't actually leave the Forbidden City then.
He stayed. How did that work? A former emperor just hanging out in the palace.
Well, there are these things called the Articles of Favorable Treatment. The New Republic basically said, okay, you can stay here, keep your titles, we'll even give you money.
Wow. So he was kind of a private emperor inside the old palace walls.
Exactly. A very strange situation. He lived there until 1924, and it really shaped his early development.
And during that time, that's when the Western influence started coming in. I know he had a Scottish tutor, Reginald Johnston.
Yes, Johnston was huge. So Puyi got the traditional 13 classics education, but Johnston taught him English, math, world history, opened up a different world.
And he started making changes himself, didn't he? Visible things.
Oh, yeah. Cutting his hair, the long Manchukuo. That was massive, wearing Western suits, getting eyeglasses.
How did that go down with the old guard?
Not well. I mean, these were really symbolic acts. People like his traditional tutor, Chen Baoqian, were apparently furious. It represented this clash, between the past and the future playing out right there in the Forbidden City.
Okay, so then he's eventually expelled in 1924. Things take a darker turn. He ends up in Tianjin.
Right. He spends several years there sort of looking for foreign powers to help him get restored, and that ultimately leads him to Japan.
Which brings us to Manchukuo. Head of state in 32, Emperor Kangde in 34. What's the key thing to know about this period? His main, quote-unquote, achievement time?
The main thing. He was a puppet. Simple as that. His title, his position, it all depended entirely on the approval of the Japanese Xuantong army. He had no real power.
Was he aware of that? Did he think he was genuinely restoring something, or was it just desperation?
Sources suggest it was probably a bit of both, especially at the start. He likely hoped it was a path back, but the reality of Japanese control became very clear very quickly. It seems like those years were pretty disillusioning for him.
Okay, so that phase ends with World War II. Japan loses. He's captured by the Soviets in 45, then handed over to the PRC in 1950 as a war criminal.
Yes, and sent to the Fushun War Criminals Management Center. This is where the massive transformation really begins. His second half of life, you could say.
He was there for nearly a decade, right? What led to the special pardon in 1959? What changed?
It was the whole process of re-education, intense self-criticism, studying communist ideology, basically coming to terms with his past from the perspective of the new China. He had to fundamentally redefine himself, not as emperor, but as a citizen.
And after the pardon, what did this citizen Aisin-Gioro Puyi actually do? This is where we see his later actions, his achievements in this new context.
Well, his first job was quite ordinary. He worked at the Beijing Botanical Garden, selling tickets, doing some horticulture work.
From emperor to ticket seller, that's something.
It really is. But then later, and this is quite significant, he was appointed to the Committee for Research on Cultural and Historical Materials, part of the CPPC, the government's main advisory body.
So he went from being the subject of history, the emperor, to actually researching and documenting history.
Exactly. He became a historian, in a sense. And that connects directly to what many consider his most lasting contribution.
Which is his autobiography.
Yes. From Emperor to Citizen, or My First Half of Life, depending on the translation. Published around 1960, it's his own account of everything, the fall of the dynasty, his time as emperor, Manchukuo, his transformation. It's an invaluable historical document.
So his achievement isn't ruling, it's reflecting and recording.
In his later life, absolutely. The book itself is a major achievement, and his work with the CPPCC, what we can learn from him, perhaps, is this incredible capacity for adaptation, maybe even finding a new kind of purpose, trading imperial power for, well, historical service.
It really brings it all together, doesn't it? born at the absolute center of power in the Forbidden City, dies in 1967 as citizen Aisin-Gioro Puyi, a historian contributing to the very system that replaced his dynasty.
Yeah, the irony is profound. Think about it. The last emperor's final official role is as an advisor, invited by the political system that ended millennia of imperial rule. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? About what power really means and what legacy looks like when the whole world changes around you.